welcome back to Goosebumps HorrorTown playthrough. This is part 1 to the It Came From the Internet playthrough. This is something that hopefully you guys will enjoy. As usually we do, part 1s we just go through the beginning part with this game updates and all that said information. If you want to learn more about what this update's based off about, I'd suggest you take a look at the introduction or part 0 to this playthrough. It's basically just all the info dump you'd like to know. The other thing too is that normally the last few I've edited it to show you just the characters that are useful, but because Crafting 101 will do that, I'll just kind of have that there. And this is just going to be playing through and me talking over it for some information. So, with that in mind, let's just go ahead and dive right in and see what this game has to offer. So when the game starts off, we have it go loading and then get a pack, but here we go. It came from the internet. Things are out of hand with the master blood out of the picture in town, but the the daily bonus, and look at that, 26 days. That's kind of, whoops. So I guess we know how long this is going to be, but anyways, things got out of hand with the monster blood outbreak in town, but the mayor seems to have strength in the neighborhoods, though the virus is digital. Interesting. Alright, so 26 days, and this is our new one character, Rachel. You'll notice that in part 2, I'll talk more about these two characters, Mark and Rachel, because they're inspired by something. Anyways, the usual play animations, start new crafting things and scenes. And look at that, we got Mr. Mortman and the aliens back. We got something here, which is the torrent from the invasion. Also, we got this interesting pack. So we got the invasion prize or unique item back. We got the item that was missing back in the dead house is back again, but we got some new technological, spiderwebby type of interesting, unique items in this part here. Got the Spyder banner, got some interesting surf webs, we got some information desk, and then we got Rachel, who is Goosebucks, so that's cool. So this is what she drops. But anyways, if you're new to the game, this is what it'll look like. So characters here, that's how much it is. You get to see how much. It seems like okay, so it seems like the big items are going to be costing is usually the alien and the scene for some reason. I'm not sure why that's such a case. I found this time around that the event items are a little bit more harder to kind of grind across, and they seem to be lowered at the same time. But anyways, here is the grand prize, the graveyard cake. This is for the anniversary of this year being 2, so we need 7 spider gloves. We need to get the VHS shop. 8 bug sprays, again at the shop, bone box, which you'll need at the shop, and spider masks, which is 20 shops. Alright, so that seems about done. So now that our game is finally opened and ended, let's go ahead and take a look at the book, because we should see, most likely in the side stories, if we go over here, yep, there it is, the Came From the Internet book, and you need Rachel in order to unlock this, so interesting indeed. And of course, Monster Blood is gone, which I guess we've kind of expected now. April was a bit of a cruel joke, but now we know. And oh, look at that, Game Dev pack. So this is the pack that I'm going to talk about more in the end, and next, the second part, you're going to see more of it, so yeah. So there it is right there. Get a quick look at that. Anywho, this is the promenade this time around. It looks like it is an interesting retro style 90s looking parking lot, or a plaza kind of area there. I like it. I like how they design these things too to make it kind of look and stand out. So I'm guessing this here is the event scene. Yeah, it is, the internet cafe. So okay, so that's interesting. So Spyder's $5, and then need Mark to unlock him, and then the other one there. Okay, so that's interesting. I have a lot to talk about when it comes to these two and what I believe. I think I might mention this during the Crafting 101, but for now, you know, can't really do much of that. However, I'm surprised I got myself some currency Oh, right, because of the login, I forgot. Oh, man. Alrighty, so that's the promenade thing. And this is the VHS shop. Yep, there we go. So these are the items. The Spyder mask. Got the makeup kit, so that's a unique item we have and can get. And I believe the floppy blue pill, and that's a red pill. Nice. I'm guessing it's a Matrix reference, computer chips, Virgin floppy. So I got a red floppy, blue floppy, a virus. Okay, so we got the reggae tape. Oh, great. We're gonna need the gnome pipe scene. Great, that's fantastic. We got metal, which requires the dog collars, which I have an item that can probably do that, so we should be okay there. We also need blank tape, so that's another item we need to get. And the rock one, we need the plaza. Again, the ectoplasms, man. That's gonna suck. The spider glove. Okay, so the ag core, that's probably from there. The cafe scene. Boombox, we need the tapes. The bug spray. Seems interesting enough in the page. Okay. So, this seems more explanatory when you're looking at it real quick. Strange looking egg, so you do need the meteorite scene in order to get the bug spray. Okay, so that's going to be a bit of a grind for new players to get. Alright, I think that's about it. Yeah, alright. Looks good. Alright, so I think I'm going to try to do something else before we dive in. You know what, let's check out the characters we got last time to see if they have any new items going on. Oh, there's one. I see Cuddles. See if I can click on him. Okay, so he does rest and sneak into school lab, so that's something new. I guess it replaces the junkyard thing. Alright, so I'm gonna guess the other characters will have something to drop for me, so that was interesting. Andy. Oh, okay, so she gives me the bug spray as well as the rock tape, so... Alright, that's a headache loss there. That'll make things a little bit more easier for me, and also gives me metal tape, so that's good. Good to know. Right, so, let's take a look over here. Got that going. I guess the joke shop now drops those items. That's interesting. I don't know why I'm getting drops for the weird items, because I don't think there's any decoration or crafting for that item, so I'm not sure if they're going to change that in the future or if it's just going to be utilized for something else, but I'm surprised they kept that, but okay. I'm going to blame the virus for that one because, you know, people aren't really working from the office. Okay, so he gives me a red floppy, but he also gives me the mask, so now I save. So basically right there, two of the items I got going right there. So that's good. Bark and computer chips. Alright. Okay, cool. So it looks like all the AI characters are useful in some way, shape, or form. That's good. It's good to know they have some more useful items dropping. That's good. Alright. Alright, let's take a look around. I think there is some new land, but I'm trying to see where they... Okay, there they are. There's one up there. And is this one? No, it's not. Okay. So these two ones up here, these are the ones. So Whispering Clears. Ooh, okay, that's going to be a long time for me to get those items because of the treasure dealer stuff. It's going to suck. And up here, no. I'm going to try to click on this. I'll turn this off before I forget. This canyon entrance 3. Okay, well. That's going to be something I can easily clear out. Alright, might as well do that. Goodbye, money. It was nice knowing you. Soon I'm not going to have any money at all, so that's going to suck. Utilizing all the stuff I need, so that's kind of crappy. Before we... Oh, wait. Alright, I got myself these already, so I'm going to get ahead on some of the items, so that's good. I'm thinking... Oh, yeah. Oh, what? Nah. I might luck on that one. That was convenient. Anyways, what I think I might do is I'm going to turn on one of my suppliers, not the candy shop, the one down here, right? Yeah, so I'm going to turn this on because I might need that. And, Let's see if I can't look at one of the previous characters before we dive into the main events beginning narrative. No. Okay, no, turn that on. And I see Nat, or Pat, so to say. Yeah, so these are the items he's now dropping, so... Oh, so he drops 2 of the Frederick's cameras. That's unique. I might have to look at his sister just to see what Nat gives me. But anyways, I think that's long enough. Let's go ahead and see what the story has for us. And then, yeah, there you go. The pawn shop's offering stuff, so that's how much it sells.
I wonder what will happen now that we're safe from the virus. After cleaning up the mess Dawes has left, your old pal Curly has been ordered to stay indoors for a while.
Oh, okay. So that's your reasoning then. I'm guessing that he was going to maybe be in the game, but
In the meantime, I see the town's moving into the 21st century with the new plaza being built by a genius of all things.
I have to say, Doctor, what you did with the promenade is remarkable. I was starting to believe it was a hopeless case. I still feel bad I can't fully give you something in return for helping me out. I mean us.
Oh, the pleasure's all mine, really. It's the least I could do for your warm welcome into this town. Morty.
Alright, have her... Okay, so have the mayor do that, and obtain some virgin floppies, exchange promenade, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that was the first introduction to one of the new characters, Dr.Bronstien. Now, you might look at him and say, oh, he kind of reminds me of Doc Brown, or even Rick, but honestly, as you'll see in the playthrough, his accent will give him away for what he was actually inspired by. I'll give you a hint, he is somewhat of a video game character, but he's not really a personal character, but he is kinda known if you're into a certain game. I won't spoil it just yet, I might do that near the end if people haven't figured it out. Also, the 2 new characters there, Rachel and Mark, is also inspired by something, but I'm going to hold that off until the next part if you can't already tell what that's based off of, because, oh boy, this is kind of giving the 90s, especially with the computers. Ooh, it's a nice little nod connection there. Anyways, I was summoning characters that can give me the floppies, so that's all good now. So let's go ahead and see characters that can give me stuff while I talk about random things. So during my part 0s, and this is going to be something new I'm going to try, I am going to be shortening stuff up and then kind of giving some information. I left on there a few things. One of them is that they changed certain things out there. If you notice any bugs or any weird phenomena that are happening in the game, like something's changed and it's like, oh, I can't do this now, let me know and I'll try to tell my contact to make sure they're aware of. Worst case scenario, you can go into your contacts and submit a ticket and let them know through that way. So that way they have a mental note to go, okay, next up that we need to fix this problem here that we caused by accident. One of the new ones now is that the Poison Lake update is a little bit broken because 2 potential characters that were staying is now gone, as well as other ones too. Also, for some interesting reason, we also got who was it? We got some new stuff, especially with R.L. Stine's new projects. Like even I think the Fear Street movies are coming out this year, which is alright. Yeah. Anyways, we were gonna get the Dustin's first the new animation. One of them is Dustin with wearing Spider mask, gives us a red pill. So we're gonna have a quick look at this right here, and after we go through the premise, there's a nice zoom in. So he's waving his hands up and down. It's very interesting. Also, it's gonna take a very long time for me just to get him to show his face, so I'm gonna just fast forward this bit. Alright, took you long enough. There you go. This is what I want to see. Your face. Look at that spider mask. Yeah. See, that's what I wanted to know. Man, you would not want to believe how long it would have taken just to see him walk all the way over there just for his body to turn around. It's just so annoying. So I did you guys a service. Alright, here's another animation that's new from Marty. It is carrying a boombox, which gives us a cassette tape. It's interesting too because part of the narrative what I was helping with is trying to get these characters' new animations to make sense of why they're involved with this type of deal. Anyways, he's listening to music and there you go, look at that. Him playing through it. Yeah. I'm wondering what he's listening to. Give your best guess of what you think he's listening to down below. I would be interested to see the implications of Marty's taste in music. Mrs. Merrill says something good. Again, I'm not going to go too much in depth with this one because it's more so crafting 101 that will go into depth in the editings on those stuff. This is more just a long kind of playthrough of minor editings here and there. It's more of an introduction of what's there. So, you know, the other thing too is you get to see any changes some of these characters might have had or changed or updates. So if anyone notices anything, can let me know. Okay, so this is, I think, the last freemium new character we got that has an animation. That's Eric. He has something called wearing a spider mask, which is exactly like Eric. So we're going to quickly just look at this. He has the same animations, everything like that. So we're going to get a quick look at him real quick after he moved the trees. And there he is. Yep. Good enough. So, right. So what I was talking about before Dustin came along. R.L. Stine seems to be busy with a lot of the his past works coming into media now. Like Fear Street movies are coming out this year, I believe. I haven't seen a trailer yet for it, but I guess it's like a 3-part movies. I don't know how that's going to work. It'd be interesting to know, but anyways, I think I also said Point Terror is also coming, which is based on the book series. It's just like Fear Street, but it's going to only focus on R.L. Stine's stories and not so much the other artists or writers from that book era. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, and then the Just Beyond got announced to be a Disney Plus exclusive, and I have no idea why they did that. Also, it said it's for fall, so most likely it's going to be for Halloween, but I don't know, man. Like, so far, I see the first book, and it looks interesting enough with the graphics novel, especially with the cover done by Jim Jacobus, my bad. I'm tired, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, but by Jim Jacobus, he redrawed the cover, which looks really cool. And I'm really liking Jim Jacobus, especially since he's been getting himself involved. I think someone mentioned that he did a cover art for another book coming out. It might be a anthology trilogies like Goosebumps, but I'm not sure. But it's called Phantom Tea. You could take a look into that. I mean, he does really good work, especially since he moved into digital now. It's kind of really clean looking, but he still has that art's aesthetic. And I'm going to say this right now. The artists that they have for the Goosebumps game, I think they've done this since the beginning of December. But I'm really digging how they kind of have an art style like it actually is a painting in there. Like, I do love the character designs for the bio pictures or the profiles. But I'm really digging the actual painting pictures for the screen load-ins because they kind of embodies the whole Goosebumps feel, like how Jacobus usually would have done it. And yeah, I'm kind of digging. It's also very weird how this game internet series, it's very bizarre because it came from the internet. Yeah, it's like bit of me. We all come from the internet, so that's kind of spooky to think about. But yeah, it came from the internet series. It's the book is quite interesting because it was released during near the decline of the Goosebumps series. And what about that too is that the reasoning why this is part of May's update is something to do with the fact that the anniversary to the internet was on May. Though looking at it, I think originally they had the holiday on October. And then something about Spain wanting to move it, and then they kind of confirmed it to be in May instead. So, you know, there's a lot of potential May stuff. But yeah, it's funny because after April hits, May through August, it's a base of up in the air. Like, there's no real holidays kind of to base anything around. But once September comes in, it's like, oh yeah, that's easy. School, Halloween for October, Thanksgiving or something in November. December, Christmas, January, New Year's, or winter, February, Valentine's Day, or maybe even Mardi Gras if you want to be too expensive. Oh yeah, and then Mr. Fleshman, since he's featured, he has some items available. One of them is the rock one, so that's another one who can give me rocks, so that's kind of good. So now there's more of a chance for me not to go with the ectoplasm, so thank Christ for that. But I believe I have to deal with the gnome pipe, so that's great. Fantastic. I have yet to see Sarah or Sunny come into the game again. I know Sam, yeah, he's still around, but unfortunately they have not picked these two in. I'm wondering if they're gonna have Sunny be associated with the book like they did with him and Mr. Useless Walter. Why do you cost $700, man? They need to change the price. Like, they need to lower him because he's not worth that much. Like, for that type of price, he should be dropping, like, really premium. Like, he should be dropping, like, the compasses and all that other stuff, too. It's just like, oh my... Frustration aside, I was lucky to get him when I did, and I had to pay the price, but I feel sorry for people who are new to the game who will have to deal with that, because he's not even a particular character. He's like a very side character. Like, he was introduced during the first Halloween game update, which was based on the movie, right? And it's just like, Also, that was weird too with that movie, the Haunted Halloween. Originally, R.L. Stine wasn't in Jack Black wasn't in the movie because of R.L. Stine. So the voice for Slappy had to be done by an impersonator who did his voice for the cartoon series of Kung Fu Panda, I believe. I think they were mentioning this. And the guy who puppeteers as Slappy, he's actually, he has his own YouTube channel, and he has shown him doing the stuff there. And I like how he did his voice. I think I mentioned this way before. But yeah, anyways, yeah, so originally he wasn't supposed to be in there, Jack Black, but they wrote him in very last minute because he was able to have some free time. He's like, you know what, yeah, let me go in quickly. So they kind of wrote him a story like near the end there, so that's why he's kind of appeared as he did. The reason why he wasn't able to kind of be featured was mainly because of the fact that, if I remember correctly, he was shooting a kids horror film, which is like The House That Has a Clock or something like that. I don't even remember. I think most people don't even know what that is. I think it's based on the book, but I can't really recall. It's like The House That Has a Clock in it. You know, I'm just gonna have to search that up while I'm talking here to make it seem like I'm not searching this stuff, but really I am. Anyways, Ellie, yeah, she has nothing there, which sucks. Okay, yeah, that's that. Okay, so so this is Nat, so that's what item she dropped. So again, not that bad with dropping item wise. Yeah. So anyways, the house with a clock in its walls. That's the movie that it came out with, and apparently that's a horror movie. And at first when I looked at it, I was just like, it's not a horror movie, and I look and I'm like, oh wait, it is. And I think Goosebumps overtook it because, honestly, does anyone remember that movie? Because I certainly don't. Anyways, so, yeah, so these are the items I have to deal with for this event. A lot of stuff to look into. And, yeah, I have to get some scenes going. I'm also going to try to get myself into the other game that I've been recording as of late, but I have to wait to make sure that game pops in. But, you know, it's going to be a while before that happens, so hooray for me for that one. I'm going to have to deal with that, unfortunately. But, luckily, there's not going to be too much effort like I do with the Goosebumps stuff. Like, this is going to be my main focus, bread and butter, because I grew up with it. But the other game, which I think I've hinted at before, which was the Atoms, I think I'm going to try to get my hand into it. I'm kind of coming close to finishing off the backlogs. I have to do Creep coming up this month, hopefully. And then I have 2 more of the levels I have to look at book-wise, and then I'm going to try to do one video focusing on the 5 or quests that I decided to skip because I was waiting to see if a book was going to be featured with it. And unfortunately, by the looks of it, I don't think that's going to be the case, so I'm just going to assume that's not going to happen, so I'm going to have to do it regardless with something else in mind. But yeah, unfortunately, it seems like the gnomes are going to be something I have to deal with, so that's great. 40% of a lucky draw, so I get to feel like how everyone else does. Ghost Hound's Tomb, we don't really need that anymore. I mean, I don't even need to put most of the stuff down, but I'm going to do anyway. So, in the next part, we're going to take a look at the Dame Devs pack, which has Rachel and Mark, who, unfortunately, Mark is a premium exclusive. Him and I believe Doc is also exclusive, so that kind of sucks. But I'm surprised that he wasn't as hated on as far as I saw so far. Like, a lot of people didn't seem like they were kind of like mad at the fact. I mean, they probably are, but at the same time, I haven't seen them go as insane as they did with Andy. So, who knows? We'll have to wait and see for that. But anyways, I think that will be it from me. So, in the next part for this playlist, if we're looking at the internet one, I'm kind of asleep, as you can tell, you know. It should be the Crafting 101, if not part 2 will be popping up. And from there, you will get through stuff here. I think I'm going to try to do it so Mondays are always Goosebumps. Unless it's a Crafting 101, then that's going to be popping up as soon as I can when the update hits. I think the second one, I think Wednesdays I'm going to try to see if I can do Adams, but that's going to be a while. And yeah, it's going to feels like it's going to be a year, almost been a year since I announced Adams was coming to a game, and then me actually finally covering it. But that's going to be an interesting series to look at. But yeah, for now I think that's about it. So when we come back, we'll take a look at the Game Devs pack with Rachel and Mark, and we're going to be looking at more of Rachel's questline as well as the beginning of this particular questline to see what goes on. So until then, I've been Graham, and I'll be seeing you next time for Goosebumps HorrorTown. It came from the internet. And before I go, make sure you be careful who you see on the internet, because a lot of dangers can come through there, especially octopus spiders.